daughter is going to be 25 in October, and it got me thinking about the last 25 years and how different things were. And I was thinking about how the country came together during 9/11. And for those of you who are old enough, I was teaching at John R. Leonard. I was teaching in Affordable, and I was watching it on an antenna-less television set that I put a wire hanger in to act as an amplifier. And that's where I was in education in that moment. And people on the left and people on the right came together. All of Congress was singing God Bless America on the steps of the Capitol building. And we got involved in some questionable conflicts in the Middle East, to say the very least, in an attempt to get after the people who had attacked us. And at the same time, deregulation that had occurred under both Democrat and Republicans since the LBJ administration was beginning to erode how banking worked and how loans were given out, and things that caused the Great Depression in the 20s were occurring again. And in 2007, we have this dramatic and horrible recession, and people lose their houses, and all the adjustable rate mortgage nonsense, and you have a fundamental change in presidency, and you get Barack Obama. And Barack Obama has to spend the first 6 years of his presidency to get us back to where we were economically as far as jobs prior to the 2007 crash. And at the same time, he also was working to get, Obamacare passed, which he did, and then all the constant fighting about that. And then there was this divide and the Tea Party. And anything the Republicans and Democrats were putting forth, the Tea Party was siding more with the right and moving in that general direction and blocking anything that the Democrats were doing to go forward. And the economy was not moving forward. And so in 2008, we had Barack Obama come in. We had Barack Obama in 2012. And then in 2016, we have Hillary versus Donald Trump. And the backlash of some of the left's ideas about pronouns and perceptions on gender and everything else, along with a swelling amount of hate that has been allowed to fester over the last 50 years, came forward and elected Donald Trump as president. And Hillary Clinton called them the deplorables, and she wasn't wrong. We've had over 1,000 people arrested for the attack on January 6th. I'm a Biden supporter, but there's no sticker on my car, and I'm not willing to go to jail for him. The insanity is very, very real. And that's so drastically different from where we were when 9/11 occurred. It's only 22 years, and the divide is huge. It's just one of those things I'm thinking about, and I'm like, we're at a precipice now. 25% of the adult voters believe that Donald Trump is a good presidential candidate, which means 75% of us are pretty much saying no. And then how many percent we don't know are undecided and are not casting a vote until they walk into the voting booth. So that's the wild card. How do the independents actually feel about Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, Chris Christie, Mike Pence, Joe Biden, the governor of California, if he decides to throw his name in the hat? Katy Perry, who? Katie Porter? The Democrats, if they wanted to field people, they could. The people that are complaining about Joe Biden being Joe Biden, the economy has done really well since he's been in. The infrastructure bill has worked. The SNAPS benefit thing is good. He's run into roadblocks about getting, relief for people with student debt. He's working on that. And the Supreme Court nominees that Donald Trump put in are trying to push us back to the pre-Brown versus Board of Education days of the 1950s, what the Republican Party deems to be the good old days: segregation and women in the kitchen. How did we get here? How have we gotten here in my lifetime?